fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well,
Greetings, young Jedi.
hello there.
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're going to take a look at another not Black Series, but Marvel Legends. You saw the Daredevil review the other day, and of course there is a set to be had, the second half being The Punisher from Daredevil Born Again, a figure that I am very, very excited to get my hands on. Frank showed up in the end of episode 3, I believe, of Daredevil Born Again. It was just a brief little end of episode appearance, and then Marvel Legends promptly revealed the figure online, and I have been waiting for it ever since. I'm so excited to finally have an updated Punisher in the line. The initial impression looking at him in the box might be a little funny looking in the face, but the rest of them's looking pretty good. I have had the original one since I found it on the shelf way back in 2016 at Walmart. It was a good figure for the time, and one that I have held close to the heart over these many, many years since. But I gotta admit, looking at the two of them, I don't think I want to play with you anymore. Here's the Punisher in the box. Let's start by taking a look at this. Of course, this is your standard Marvel Legends box shape, but there is some really fun Daredevil Born Again flavoring on it. So you have your Legends series, the Punisher's name, Daredevil Born Again's logo. Love that logo. 14 plus, Hasbro. And then you have your big window with the Punisher and his many accessories shown off nicely. You have a little bit of a silhouette, like gradient, like type image of the city in the black. Looks really good. And in the red in the back. You have a white and black image of the Punisher looking super cool. Your Marvel Legends logo. This side features your wraparound window, your Punisher name, your Marvel Legends logo, another art of him on the back with your Legends series, his name, a bio in many languages. Pause and read whichever language best applies to you. A bunch of legal stuff, more Hasbro, Marvel, barcode, more legal stuff, hanger tab, and the Daredevil Double D's logo up top. Looking really, really good. I'm super amped about this one, so I'm going to open them up really quick. Let's take a look at the Punisher. Here's the Punisher out of the box with as many accessories. Let's go ahead and run through them. He comes with some swappable hands. So out of the box, he has a trigger finger right hand and then like a relaxed sort of grip left hand. It's kind of like for holding up a longer like rifle type weapon, but he doesn't come with one, which kind of sucks. He comes with everything that you do see him use in the show. I just kind of wish they maybe would have thrown something kind of like the older Punisher figure had in the box, just for the sake of it, because, you know, he regularly does use that sort of thing. But I digress. His swappable hands are a fist for the right hand, looking really, really good. Has a horizontal hinge. It doesn't do vertical, it does like left and right. And then he features a trigger finger for the left hand, which looks pretty good. This one features a vertical hinge. Setting those aside, he comes with 3 weapons. He comes with his little pistol. I don't know guns just to look at him and to tell you what this is, but I can tell you it comes with an extended clip, and it is in gray paint, and it looks good. And he comes with others on his belt. They're not removable, but it is just nice knowing that Frank is always planning for a big firefight. He features a working holster, a very tactical-looking holster, but the pistol fits in there nicely, and that's really cool. He then comes with his just military-looking Bowie knife made of dark gray plastic with a lighter gray paint on the handle, and it is extremely rubbery. Like this, like needs a little blue pill or something. Like it's very, very much not good, but is what it is. Around back, he features a sheath on his belt for such a thing, and then he comes with his hatchet. Which, yeah, that was interesting, Frank having a hatchet this season. I mean, it's a very Frank thing to have, but you're just kind of horrified when he breaks it out, you know. But it's in that same dark gray plastic with some lighter gray paint on the wraps up the handle. It's fairly rubbery, but not as bad as like the knife was. It's tolerably rubbery. He does not carry storage for that, so I guess we're just going to have Frank using that hatchet. No, we'll set it aside for now. But taking a look at the figure, I always like to start with a look at the head sculpt. And, you know, it's not bad. All right. Here's my stance on the head sculpt. That looks like John Bernthal. And he does have the kind of combed back Jersey Shore looking hair in the end of the show. You know, he got himself a fresh cut, kept it kind of long, had the sides buzzed, you know, that like high and tight and all that. And it looks fine. as far as the face goes, I think it's just an expression thing. The mouth is fine, but there's something with the eye. It's like the eyebrows almost. They're a little bit too laid back, but it does look like John Bernthal. This isn't the Punisher going, "Let me tell you something, Red. Let me tell you something. The system is flawed, Red." It's not that. This is Frank going, "What about old Foggy? Did he get life?" You know, it's motivational talk, Frank, which isn't a bad Frank, but everyone wants screaming blood spray, you know, Frank, and it's just not what we got this go around. So, otherwise, though, it is a pretty good-looking figure, I gotta say. I generally do like what's going on here. He is wearing very somewhat baggy, like, tactical clothes. He's got some bulky knee pads going on. He's wearing his tactical vest with a Punisher skull spray-painted on it. As mentioned, he's got his extra clips in his belt there. Going around back, you see there's all sorts of just straps all over the whole thing. He's got some gray U.S. flag patches there. He's got his Punisher skull patch on his shoulder there with the 3 stars. And just covered in pouches and pockets. I like the effect on the Punisher skull there. He just obviously spray painted it on the vest. It's a little heavier in places. It's a little lighter. There's a little bit of runny splatter going on. It's very, very good looking. I like everything about how that turned out. He's got some nice looking boots, very rugged, tactical looking, you know, treads, at least on the sides. The centers of them are flat, but like, who cares at that point? Going around back, just once more, it is a very, very good-looking Punisher. It looks like you would expect the Punisher to look as you've seen him in the show, and I really have nothing bad to say there. So, I guess running through some articulation, again, I mentioned in the Daredevil review, but as a mostly Black Series guy, it's just nice to look at a different line every here and there and just see what might be going on. So, he features a ball at the bottom of the neck, and then it's a double ball at the top and a double ball at the bottom of the neck. So you can actually look that far up, which is pretty nice. You can go that far down, side to side, and there's a ton of pivot on Frank here. His arms can come up to a T pose, and he has not a butterfly joint, but it's a peg on a ball that goes into the shoulder, and they have kind of like a cup around it in there that just hides it all. So he can do butterfly motion, he can do that up and down and all around. The whole thing can sling around, which is really, really nice. Getting it stood back up. He has an upper bicep swivel and then double jointed elbows, but the nature of him kind of doing the baggy, you know, military tactical jumpsuit look is you get very gappy in the joints there when you use that. I don't really like that. I kind of like the Black Series single joint that's just a deep cut with a swivel on it. I kind of feel like it breaks up a lot less than that, but I digress. He features rotation at the wrist with the trigger finger hinging up and down and the relaxed hand hinging in and out. He has a upper torso ball joint which allows him to crunch that far forward, pretty back, but kind of has like a little bit of a step in there and you go all the way back. He can twist there and pivot there, and then he features a rotation at the waist, and that works fairly well. He can do almost a straight split. Good job, Frank. You can kick pretty far forward, a tiny bit back. There's an upper thigh rotation, which kind of breaks up the sculpt and is too tight for me to really want to use anyway. Double jointed knees. He can kick his own backside, but as mentioned, it's just ugly. It breaks up the knee a bit. We'll straighten that back out. And then his feet can point straight down, pretty far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get him into some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. Here's the new Punisher next to the old Punisher. He's a touch shorter than the old Punisher, but that one might have been a little bit too tall anyway. It's not really a drastic difference, but it's just a touch different. I think I like the scaling of the new one better. And then, of course, here he is next to the old Netflix and the new Disney Plus Daredevil suits. And yeah, he looks really good in this mix. Objectively, they would intermix on the shelf fairly well. Of course, this new one having a much better resemblance, even though the eyebrows are a little wonky. But all said, it is very much a modern figure. It looks really good with other modern figures. The older ones can just kind of sprinkle in here and there. So end of the day, what do I think of the new Punisher? I think he's pretty good. I You know, I wish the expression was a little bit better, a little less soft, but it doesn't not look like Jon Bernthal, and objectively, I guess that's the goal at the end of the day. He poses all right. He gets a little gappy at places, which I don't really like, but that's just kind of how Marvel Legends does sometimes. The accessories are fun. They've given him everything he needs. Again, I wish they'd given him a long gun, but he doesn't have it in the show, so whatever. You can get one out of your accessories box. All in all, he is a really, really fun figure, and I think especially if you pair it with the new Daredevil, you're going to have an excellent time just getting some fun posing going on here. I really, really like this figure. I think the Daredevil is the better of the two, even by a semi-significant amount, and it's just really, really cool. I like it. I think if you're a Punisher fan, you'll probably end up liking this figure too, and I'm just super happy to have it in the collection. So thanks so much for watching. I don't do a ton of Marvel Legends, so if you're just here for the Legends, you know, hang out if you like Black Series. That's mostly what I do, but there's some other toy hunting going on. There's Comic-Con vlogs. I like to do a little bit of everything, but there is a heavy Black Series focus here. If you're a Black Series guy, just looking at what else is going on in the world of Hasbro here, thanks for checking this out, too. Always a fun time just seeing what else the brand is pumping out. They don't just do Star Wars. Star Wars just might be what they do best. Ooh, that's a hot take. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Until then, have a good one. Bye.